Welcome to AI Code News Channel.
You know, something fundamental is shifting right now in the world of software. And I'm not talking about some far-off futuristic idea. No, this is a revolution that's happening today, right under our noses, completely rewriting what it even means to build our digital world. It all kicks off with one pretty startling declaration.
Now that might sound like a line from a sci-fi movie, right? But it's not. That's a direct quote from Ryan Dahl. And if you're in tech, you know that name. He's the creator of Node.js, one of the absolute cornerstones of modern web development. His point is that the whole process of a human manually typing out code, line by painstaking line, well, he thinks that's about to become a thing of the past. And the crazy part, he's definitely not alone in thinking that.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is real, and it's happening right now inside the biggest tech companies on the planet. The way they've adopted these AI-powered coding tools has been nothing short of explosive. And when you actually look at the numbers coming from these giants, they are just staggering.
Okay, let's start with Microsoft. Their CEO, Satya Nadella, just came out and said that for some of their projects, a massive 20 to 30% of the code is now being written entirely by AI. Just let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about an AI suggesting a word or a single line of code. We're talking about production-ready code generated at an absolutely massive scale.
And it's pretty much the same story over at Google. Their CEO, Sundar Pichai, he confirmed a similar number. Over 30% of all new code inside Google is being generated by AI. The key thing to grasp here is that these aren't just little side projects or experiments. This is happening at an incredible scale, and it's baked right into their main development workflow.
But then you've got Mark Zuckerberg, and he's got an even bolder prediction for Meta. He's thinking that within the next year, maybe half of all development is going to be done by AI. I mean, just picture that. A future where pretty much every single human engineer is working side by side, day in and day out, with an AI partner.
Okay, so this productivity boom is incredible, right? But there's a huge hidden cost, a dark side to all this. It's a completely new class of risk that our old traditional security models just were not built to handle. You know, with this much power, you get an equal amount of vulnerability. And right now, companies are scrambling to figure it all out.
So it all boils down to this one central question, really. What happens when all that AI-assisted code, your company's secret sauce, leaves your secure building? The second it lands on a personal device, or with a contractor, or worse, gets stolen by an attacker, poof, you have zero visibility. And that right there is where the real danger starts.
Well, researchers at a security firm called IOActive, they have a name for this. They call it the client-side problem. And what it means is that basically all the security measures we've trusted for years, you know, the tools that watch what's happening inside a company's network, they're suddenly useless. The very second that code gets copied to a personal laptop or swiped in a data breach, it's like the intruder is already outside the castle walls. Those old defenses just don't work anymore.
And the scary part is the threats are coming from all directions. It could be an internal developer who, maybe completely by accident, pastes some sensitive code into a public AI tool, or it could be a contractor who just keeps a copy of the code after their job is done. But the most dangerous? That's the external attackers who can now use AI to tear through stolen source code and find weaknesses at lightning speed.
But it's not all doom and gloom. With huge new problems, you get brilliant new solutions. Researchers in the big AI labs are already building completely new ways of thinking about this. These digital guardrails designed specifically for this new world of AI development. They're basically creating a new model of trust from the ground up.
And one of the first big innovations actually comes from that same white paper we mentioned, from IOActive. They've come up with a totally different way to think about securing code. Instead of trying to lock down every single developer's computer, they're shifting the focus to the AI provider itself.
The system they proposed is called Husk Canaries, and it works kind of like a digital canary in a coal mine, a silent alarm. The idea is that a company can embed these special, invisible patterns into its most sensitive code. Then, if anyone, anywhere in the world, tries to paste that code into an AI tool that's part of the system, that little canary starts singing. It triggers an alert that goes straight back to the company that owns the code.
The whole process is actually pretty elegant. Here's how it works. First, an organization registers its unique invisible pattern. Then, if that code ever gets pasted into a partner AI tool, the AI provider's own system spots the pattern. It then calls a central service, which tells the AI, hey, block that request. And at the same time, it sends an immediate alert to the code's rightful owner. It basically turns the entire AI world into one big connected early warning system. But, technical security is really only half the battle here. The other half, and maybe the trickier part, is controlling how the AI itself behaves, right? How do you make sure these incredibly powerful models are going to act ethically and safely, especially when they run into some weird new situation they've never seen before?
And that's exactly where this idea of an AI constitution comes into play. It was pioneered by the AI lab Anthropic for their model, Claude. Now, this isn't just a simple list of rules like do this, don't do that. It's more like a foundational document. It gives the AI a set of core principles, but crucially, it also explains the reasoning behind them. This helps the AI handle brand new situations much more safely and effectively.
So if you look at Claude's constitution, it's built on these core ideas: be helpful, be safe, be transparent, be ethical. It's not about restricting the AI so much as it is about giving it a framework to guide its own judgment. In a way, it teaches the AI how to think about safety, which makes it way more resilient and trustworthy than an AI that's just blindly following a list of orders.
Okay, so we have these new tools and these new guardrails. So what does all this mean for the actual human developer? Well, their job isn't going away. Not at all. It's evolving. It's changing into something new, and maybe, just maybe, something even more important.
There's a quote from Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, that I think just perfectly captures this whole shift. He said, "Nothing would give me more joy than if none of our engineers were coding at all, and they were just purely solving undiscovered problems." What he's saying is, he wants his engineers to get away from the nitty-gritty mechanics of writing code, and instead focus all their brainpower on solving problems that no one has ever solved before.
And that really gets to the heart of his purpose versus task idea. See, writing the actual code, that's the task. It's a complicated task for sure, but it's still a task. The AI can handle that. The human's job, that becomes defining the purpose. You're the one who designs the whole system, who makes sure the AI's output is actually correct. And most importantly, you're the one who figures out what problems are worth solving in the first place.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final big question. If AI is the new coder, what does the human become? Well, the human becomes the architect, the strategist, the one who validates the work, the visionary. The task of just writing the syntax is being automated, sure, but that's freeing up human creativity for something much bigger, the timeless pursuit of discovery.